on the forecast, we are highlighting the wildfires that are burning in Manitoba specifically. There are a number of wildfires that are out of control. There are people out of their homes. There are people without power. And the situation is dire for some. The problem is that it has been so hot. We don't regularly see temperatures in the 30s in early May, but that's exactly what we've seen. Winnipeg, for example, 3 days in a row with temperatures over 30 degrees with a record 37 degrees, an all-time May high. Broke the record from 1980. So you get heat. You have some dry conditions as well and some gusty winds too. So Manitoba officials did a press conference on Wednesday afternoon, and this was the latest.
At this time, there are 24 active fires in Manitoba. 6 of those fires are of note. A number of communities in Manitoba have issued mandatory evacuation notices. 6 states of local emergency have been declared. We are actively responding to this wildfire season. This is an extremely dynamic time for us. We are working closely with local authorities and everyone who is participating in part of that response. And the message that we want to send out to Manitobans today is that if you do not need to be in the parks and if you do not need to be in the areas where first responders need to access, we are asking you to stay away. Our message to folks who are currently in the Whiteshell area but not in an area impacted by an evacuation, our message to you is that we want you to stay alert. We want you to monitor for communication from the local authority, and we want you to follow their direction, because as I said, this is a dynamic situation.
By the way, officials have closed Whiteshell Provincial Park as of Thursday morning. People in the park have until 1 p.m. to get out. And the worst has happened. 2 people have died in these fires. They couldn't escape and crews couldn't get to them in the Lac de Bonnet area, and that is because the wildfire was so active. There is some good news. Temperatures are dropping. This is a look at what's going on in the next couple of days. Daytime highs around Winnipeg, at least in the single digits. There are a number of reasons why wildfires start, and officials in Manitoba were talking about, those burning barrels, and sometimes that garbage can get away. Some of these fires are naturally caused, like by lightning, and others are caused by humans. Here's a more detailed explanation of that.
The top 2 causes of wildfires in Canada are lightning and people. When we talk about human-caused fires, most of the time we are not talking about intentionally lighting a fire. We are referring to campfires, burning yard debris, and driving your ATV in the backcountry.
A lot of fires that are human-caused are actually started by people that are out on their quads or 4x4s. We actually can get sparks coming out of the exhaust that can then land in the ground and generate fires that way.
In BC and the Yukon, in most seasons, it's more likely for a fire to be started by lightning. In Alberta and New Brunswick, human activity is more likely, based on statistics. And lightning isn't the only weather factor. We also have to consider heat and drought. That combination can make forests and grasslands ripe to catch fire. Add in wind, and now you have something to fan the flames.
We can't control the weather, but we can do our part to mitigate risk.
First and foremost, I would say adhering to any sort of restrictions or regulations that might be in place against open burning. So if there is a campfire ban in place, for example, we want to make sure that you're not doing that.
So before you head out for that fun weekend of camping, make sure that you check to see if there are any fire restrictions before you go.